Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. This is your brother Lawrence. Today, I just want to share with you a short video, very short one. And I just came from church, from prayer meeting, and I think it's late here. Yeah, it's later, and so I want to prepare myself to go and sleep. But I just wanted to share with you a short video by Pastor Dennis. I chanced on this video, the video I'm going to share with you, and it is a video by Pastor Dennis. And he was talking about the danger facing the Seventh-day Adventist Church even today. And so I just want to share the video with you and think about what Pastor Dennis is going to say and share your thoughts in the comments. If you agree with him, please let me know. If you don't agree with him, please let me know. I'm not going to talk after the video. Just watch and share your thoughts in the comments. And I'm going to sleep. So good night. Good night, friends. Good night.
During the early 1800s, there were several parties, political parties in the United States, which kind of settled into two parties, the Whigs and the Democrats. The Whig Party disintegrated pretty soon and was replaced by the Republican Party. And of course, these are our two parties today. But the positions of these parties have changed a great deal with time, so that our parties, as we know them today, are not even close to what they were 50 or 100 years ago. Today, these parties have become so polarized, as you well know, that labeling and demonization have become the norm. If you don't agree with my party, you are the enemy. The evangelical movement of today has immersed itself in modern power politics. In the 1950s, religion and politics began to form some alliances. Billy Graham and other evangelicals began to promote anti-communism. One nation under God became a catchphrase during those years. The religious leaders began to promote free enterprise and big business. They talked about the United States as a Christian nation. They even proposed a constitutional amendment protecting school prayer in the public schools. As evangelical theology has become increasingly linked with politics, an interesting thing has taken place. Since evangelicals are primarily conservative in their beliefs, their political leadings became exclusively conservative. And evangelical theology began to take second place to conservative politics. Evangelicals saw conservative politics as their only mechanism to effect moral change in America, since our society has been so damaged by godlessness and lawlessness, with absolute truth being replaced by whatever works for me, and the boundaries of sexuality being hopelessly blurred today. So evangelical conservatism joined itself permanently to conservative politics as the only way to defeat moral degeneracy and save the United States for that promised future of Jesus coming down upon this earth to set up his kingdom right here. Since Adventists share many of these concerns about America with evangelicals, it was very easy for us to agree with them about conservative politics being the only way to nullify the corrosive influence of liberal religious beliefs combined with liberal politics. Once again, our defenses against liberalism outside of our walls allowed us to ignore the dangerous Trojan horse of conservative religion and politics linked together, invading our minds and our churches. If only, friends, if only we would have followed Ellen White's wise counsel to bury political questions, we might not have opened the doors to the Trojan horse so widely. Suddenly, a new issue took center stage in the religious evangelical alliance with politics, and that was abortion. Now, I'm going to make it very clear here that Adventism does not believe in abortion on demand as some kind of a substitute for birth control. I'm talking here about how abortion became part of politics. In 1968, even Christianity Today, which is an evangelical magazine, refused to call abortion sinful. In 1971, delegates to the Southern Baptist Convention allowed abortion under certain defined circumstances, which was reaffirmed in 1974 and 1976. But in 1979, opposition to abortion became the rallying cry of evangelicals due to the influence of a Catholic activist who coined the term the moral majority and saw the effectiveness of abortion in defeating certain liberal, prominent politicians in 1978. This all resulted in what we know today as the religious right and the Catholic Evangelical Alliance, which believes that morality can and should be a matter for political legislation. In 1984, a New York governor said, "Are we asking government to make criminal what we believe to be sinful because we ourselves can't stop committing the sin?" The failure here is not Caesar's. The failure is our failure, the failure of the entire people of God. And very soon, voting blocks became more important and more effective than the power of persuasion. Make no mistake here. The use of civil power by apostate Christianity is making coercion a substitute for conversion and will lead directly to the formation of the image to the beast. We're dealing here with issues that we have not even begun to consider as carefully as we should. I think it's significant that in August of 2018, a state-like dinner was held at the White House for 100 evangelical leaders to celebrate evangelical leadership in America, especially in politics. And I think it's well for us to remind ourselves here that religious liberty means two different things for Adventists and for evangelicals. Adventists want to allow freedom of conscience for all, especially minority religious beliefs. We advocate freedom for Catholics, for Protestants, for Buddhists, for Muslims, and even atheists. But evangelicals and conservative Catholics advocate liberty for their version of Christianity, since they believe that is the only way of salvation, while other beliefs are heathen and do not deserve that kind of protection. The same people who stand the strongest against abortion and for moral values are the same people who want to unite with Catholicism and restore Christian dominionism that will trample on religious freedom for minorities. And so evangelical theology has been transformed into evangelical politics and is the greatest danger our church has ever faced from the outside. And I say how tragic it is that evangelical theology has penetrated so deeply into Adventist theology that we are promoting it at the highest scholarly levels and marginalizing those who believe in genuine Adventism as fanatics and fringe groups. This is the Trojan horse that is fascinating Adventism right now. And we allow it in our midst at the peril of our existence. We have formed our Maginot Line against the attacks of the enemy. And Satan has bypassed our carefully prepared defenses by appearing to be our friend and ally, since we are also opposed to things like abortion and homosexuality. We are being dragged into the muck of political involvement today. And we don't seem to realize that evangelical message and evangelical politics are broken cisterns. They are false prophets. Even Babylon, with their hands stretching across the gulf to form the image to the beast. Can we really trust and ally with a movement because it supports a couple of strands of truth, as it does? The army outside the walls is hiding inside the horse while we sleep on. We desperately, desperately need to return to our Adventist pioneers who refused to get involved with party politics. They did stand for moral issues like temperance and religious liberty. They opposed errors in society like slavery. They even defied immoral laws like the Fugitive Slave Act. But they never supported the political parties of their day. They refused to get involved in the dirt of power politics. My friends, we are here for two purposes. We are not citizens of the United States primarily. We are citizens of the kingdom of heaven. We are here to receive the seal of God and put the final nail in Satan's coffin of lies about God, and to prepare our hearts to be ready for the latter rain and to take the truth of God to every corner of planet Earth so that Matthew 24:14 can finally be fulfilled. And God will finally be able to say, "Here are they that keep my commandments." May that day come very soon.